We have tried to bridge an experience for the client between the nature and the built space, between the built and the unbuilt, and trying to get in harmony with it, and also live with the experience all through the generations to come. An indigenous house is the next step towards it. Hi, this is Manuj Agarwal. So the site for the indigenous house is located near the cantonment area of the city of Dehradun, which is actually one of the greenest part of the cities. Primarily, this site has the dimensions of 60 feet into 75 feet. 60 feet on the north side, which is also the road side, and 75 feet in depth. The initial requirements which were framed for the site were a multidisciplinary office, a 4-bedroom house which will actually cater to the 4 generations living together. So the first thing when I entered the site, I was like little surprised to see that the site was lying almost 10 feet from the road level. A massive mango tree with like a big canopy was like on the road side of the whole plot and was like providing shade to the entire front part of the plot. There were a few bamboo trees on the southern part of the site, an orchard comprising of the lychee and the mango trees on the southeast part. These bamboo trees were like very high and were like cutting off the sun angles from the southern side. The plot being trapezoidal in shape, and we also do take care of the Vastu conditions, so it was necessary for us to draw the Vastu correction lines. These Vastu correction lines generally make the site rectangular in nature and cut off the extra areas as just the landscape features. In the initial stages of the design, we came to know that there will be a G+3 apartment which will come up on the southwest part of the building. Hence, we tried to minimize the opening area on that particular side and also tried to evolve a form which will have its own light and wind flows coming from its own built space and will not get affected by any building adjacent to the proposed building. So as you enter this house, you are invited by a big mango tree providing shade to the entire front lawn area and 2 absolute blank stone walls typically in Uttarakhand style guiding you to the wooden door house entry. This particular wooden door is right at the center of the front part. There is also a floating staircase which takes you down to the multidisciplinary office area. So on a broader level, the building is essentially 3 stories. The first floor, also the road level floor, and the second floor comprises the house part, and the ground floor comprises the multidisciplinary office part. So as you enter this wooden door, you have a foyer with low height wooden ceiling and a southeast side window which looks down to the courtyard below. Essentially, this particular first floor plan, also the road level plan, is an U-shaped plan with the left flank, the left side of it is like public and semi-public spaces, and the right wing of it has all the private spaces. So as you move from the northeast coordinate of this U-shaped plan on the left side, from the foyer you come to the drawing room, which is like finished in the old world charm with a solid wooden furniture, stone masonry walls, brown leatherite upholstery, black kadappa flooring, and the USB being a fireplace. And on this flip side of this particular drawing room, you have the living area and a dining area, which majorly serves to the family chorus, followed by the kitchen and an outdoor sitting area. The maximum east light coming to the house in the morning comes from this particular part of the kitchen window and the outdoor sitting area, and this charges up the whole house from the early hours in the morning. There is an outdoor sitting just beside the kitchen area which is almost hanging into the orchard area on the southeast side. So we've tried to create a least possible kind of a barricading so that the neighbor's property is slightly cut off, and we try to create a balance between an outdoor experience with desired privacy levels. There is also an opening from the dining area to the staircase below, which actually takes you down to the courtyard, and there is a dialogue which gets established from the house area and the office area. So on the southwest part of the house, we have 2 bedrooms, both with attached dressing rooms and washrooms. The parents' bedroom or the master bedroom has a window which overlooks the beautiful landscape in the front lawn, while the other bedroom has a bay window overlooking the bamboos on the south part of the house. There's also a staircase which takes you to the second floor on this particular flank of the house. Now as you come up to the second floor, there is a small foyer space, again followed by a bigger lounge space, which has a entire length window opening up to the balcony outside. This particular window gives you the complete view of the full sprawl of the mango tree. The balcony where you step out measures 5 feet into 60 feet and runs continuously in the entire front facade, overlooking the road, the front lawn. There are also 2 bedrooms on either side of the lounge with their attached dressing rooms and the washrooms. There is also an access to the balcony from these particular bedrooms. The second floor is like rectangular in shape and sits almost on a U-shaped first floor plan below. Hence you can also move out from this particular lounge to the terraces made on the top of this U-shaped plan. So at every level you have an outdoor space blending in with the indoor space. So there's a small plunge pool and a lot of plantations which are done on the terraces. The multidisciplinary office which sits on the ground floor has an H-shaped plan and is approached by a floating staircase coming down from the driveway. Now as you come down from the floating staircase, you can experience a vertical garden on the northwest side or the road side of the plot. There is also a veranda overlooking the front lawn, which also forms a part of an experience. And when you come down the staircase, you turn left into a narrow gallery, which has a display of an artworks, a display of architect's body of works. This particular gallery opens into the lounge space of the reception. There are 4 centrally pivoted doors which are like kept in between the veranda space and the reception. Now as you move from the lounge to the veranda, you see a nicely landscaped courtyard with a centrally placed champa tree. And on the 2 sides you see solid strong stone walls typically made in Uttarakhandi Katkoni styles, giving you a sense of enclosure just with a frame structure added to it, and blurring the gap between the outside and the inside. This central courtyard also is the key design element both in terms of the aesthetics as well as in the functionality. This serves as the source of light for the entire house. Here we have tried to maximize the daylight, maximize the wind by increasing the perimeter of the house, keeping the area constant. The courtyard has enclosures on the 3 sides with apertures opening inside into the building, while the 4th side, which is the orchard facing side, is left open to enhance the views, but primarily to bring in the southeast wind entering into the house, hereby increasing the cross ventilation. There is no AC on the ground floor, there is no AC on the first floor, and you don't have to put on the AC for a long time on the second floor as well. The 2 flanks of the office floor are marked by the studio spaces, the library, the director cabins. There is also a glass roof on the top of this particular courtyard, which brings in natural light and cuts down the heavy downpour during the monsoon times. The MS angles used for this particular glass roof also contribute into the aesthetics of this particular house. As with every change in sun angle, there is a different shadow pattern falling onto the grass, which also makes it a very vibrant space, brightly lit up all throughout the day. Now as we come to the elevation, which is the northwest side, also the road side, the whole idea was to create a form respecting nature and with an absolute clean-cut geometric forms, serving the main program of the house, following the basic principles of Vastu, and having a strong identity-based construction by giving the solid stone masonry walls. The indigenous house in its whole massing has a cantilevered balcony scooping out to capture the entire sprawl of the tree beautifully, and also allowing the tree branches so that it can peer through the building, so that one feels like as if we have planted the tree or the house has been designed around it. Now coming to the material palette of it, we have chosen smoke grey mountainous stone as a key facade material, as the entire stone masonry has been done in it. Since the house was supposed to be built in the capital of the Himalayan state of Uttarakhand, I was very sure to keep it in such a way that it has a balance of both the Uttarakhand style fitting into the contemporary modern day requirements. The house has also a lot of wooden work done, because wood and stone has essentially been the 2 key building materials which have been used time and over. The Kota stone being extensively is also used in the outdoor areas for the walkways, for other landscape features. So a few takeaway points which we can take it from the indigenous house, and they should be:
before approaching any particular design, you should know the correct local material which can be easily be found by, let's say, visiting the villages or the towns nearby to your particular site. These local materials are just not eco-friendly, health-friendly, locally climate responsive, but also are like have beautiful aesthetics. You should also try to adopt all passive methods to make the life quality inside the building better by optimizing the daylight, by orienting the building in such a way that you maximize the sun diagram and maximize the light getting inside into the building, and also work upon the wind directions so that there is sufficient cross ventilation and you are not just mechanically pushing the air through your building. On this note, I end this conversation and hope to see you soon. Namaskar.